Hopefully you can all hear me and see me. Welcome to my spare bedroom. If you would like to go and grab pillows, blankets, make yourself comfortable. I've got a cushion just to sit on for a little bit and a blanket for Shavasana. If you've got a mat, it's great. You don't need a mat. If you've got one, it's good. You can always use the carpet or the floor. We don't need any props, so we don't need any bricks or blocks, but if you'd like to get some books, you can always use books instead of bricks or blocks. Just wait a couple of minutes just to make sure that everyone's here. Feel free to send feedback at the end. I'm using YouTube tonight, but I was thinking of maybe trying Zoom next week. We can always go back to Facebook Live, but I don't want any weird proposals like last week. When I saw the little love heart pop up at the bottom, I thought it was you guys, like, namaste, and then I realised it wasn't. It was some random man. Wait another minute or so. So we're going to be working shoulders and upper back tonight. I'm starting quite slow. Got quite a bit of abdominal work as always. If you've only just tuned in, make your weights, make your self comfortable, get pillows, cushions. Mat is good but not essential. We are going to start laying down. So if you want to make your way into a comfortable lying down position on your backs. If you prefer to start seated, you can always start seated instead. If you've got any music you want to play, just feel free to start playing the music whenever you want. I'm not going to play any because I think it might sound a little bit rubbish. Nearly said crap then, but I think my mum's watching. Sorry, mum. So, soles of the feet flat onto the mat. Bring your back down towards the mat. You can have your knees together if this feels comfortable. If not, you can always take your legs out long and have your legs down long. The hands can be down by the side, or you can place the hands on the belly. You can place the hands on the heart, or you can place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, wherever feels comfortable. Maybe take the arms out to a T shape, you take the arms out to a cactus shape, wherever feels good for you. We'll take a big inhale in through the nose together, so big inhale in. Exhale to sigh it out. We'll do that a couple more times, big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more just like that, big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Closing your eyes here if you haven't done already. Start to get comfortable on your mat. You're maybe not used to being on your mat. Maybe you're in your living room or your bedroom or your kitchen or spare bedroom. So just start to get used to your new surroundings. Start to let your body become heavy, so you're relaxing the shoulders, relax the forehead and relax the jaw. Notice if the fingers are twitching. See if you can bring a sense of stillness to the fingers. Maybe you make a fist with your hands, squeeze the hand together, and then just let the hands fall heavy down on the mat. Let the feet feel heavy wherever they are. Maybe they fall out to the side, maybe they fall forwards, maybe they fall in. Just notice where they hang and just let them be heavy. Start to notice what's happening with your eyes. So maybe your eyeballs are quite active behind the eyelids. See if you can find stillness. That might mean placing your hands over your eyes, just making that little bit more dark. If you've got an eye pillow or an eye mask, you can always place one of those over your eyes as well. Make use of the props that you've got at home. We will start to slow our breath down in your own time. Just start to make the inhales longer and the exhales even longer. just notice where you can feel your breath in your body. Maybe you can feel it in your belly. Maybe you can feel it in your chest or your throat. Maybe you can feel it in your nose. Maybe notice the temperature of the breath coming in through the nostrils. Maybe you're outside. Notice if it feels any different practicing outside. So we'll start to lengthen the breath even more. So with your inhales, think about filling the belly with air. So you're really trying to create a big Buddha belly. And with your exhales, allow the body to find a softness. So the shoulders are heavy, the body is sinking down into the mat, the head is heavy, the face is heavy, the face is relaxed. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, you're more than welcome to cultivate that Ujjayi breath now. So that is the slight constriction of the back of the throat, creates that whispering, audible breath. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then just stick with those long inhales and long exhales. Big deep breaths, big inhales in and big exhales back out again. If you are breathing through your mouth, see if you can seal the lips so both the inhales and the exhales are travelling in and out through the nose. Maybe you can start to hold the breath slightly at the top of the inhales. Maybe you can do the same at the bottom of the exhale. So you're just holding for a second or two at the top and the bottom of each breath. We'll stay here for 5 more breaths. So take 5 big breaths in your own time. There's no rush here. We'll take one more big inhale together. So one big inhale, fill the belly with air. And one more big exhale. You can keep the eyes closed or you can blink the eyes open. We're going to take a long pencil stretch. So bring your feet together, take your legs out long. Take the hands open overhead. Make yourself as long as you can. Point the fingers, point the toes. Take a big stretch. With your exhale, we're going to hook the knees into the chest. So hook the hands around the shins. Make yourself into a little ball. We're not going to stay here long. We're going to take the soles of the feet and plant both of the feet flat down onto the mat. So you've got bent knees. Take the feet as wide as the mat. So you're walking the feet quite wide away from each other. We're going to start to windscreen wipe the legs from side to side. So take your arms out so there's enough room for your legs to fall down. We're going to drop both knees over to the left hand side. Bring the knees back up to centre, and then we'll take them all the way back over to the right. So see if you can find your breath again here. So you're inhaling to bring the knees up, and as you exhale, take them down to the side. Inhaling to bring the knees up, and exhaling to take them down to the side. If you want to make this a little bit faster, you can do. So with your inhales, bring them all the way to the other side. And then we're exhaling to go all the way back to the other side. Just find a movement here that suits you. Maybe you prefer to keep it slower, maybe you want to speed it up a little bit. You can always hold it, so you could always drop the knees to the left and hold it here. You can always take them over to the right and hold it here. We'll do 2 more. One more. And then bring the knees all the way back into the chest. Give yourself a hug. I'm going to come into a happy baby. So for your happy baby, take the arms on the inside of the legs and the hands catch hold of the outside of the feet. You can catch hold of the ankles, or maybe you catch hold of the shins. Just hang out here. So you think about pressing your lower back down into the mat. Try and keep the head and the shoulders heavy. You can stay still or you can start to move around. Just notice where you feel this stretch. So you might feel it in the hamstrings. You might feel it a bit more in the hips. And start to move around, maybe bringing the feet together. You can stay perfectly still, it's completely up to you. You can rock from side to side. Start to let go of your happy baby. Bring both knees in towards the chest. We're going to drop the knees over to the left hand side. So you're coming into a supine twist. Take the right arm out to a T. If you want more of a stretch here, you can cross the right leg over the left leg and let both knees come down towards the mat. Your gaze can either stay up towards the ceiling, or you can take your gaze over that right arm, just finding a gentle twist for the lumbar spine, the lower spine, maybe into the thoracic spine as well at the top of the back. Try and keep the shoulders heavy and try and stay connected to that breath. Slowly bring both knees into the centre. We will swap sides. If you had your legs crossed, this time you want to cross the left leg over the right leg and then take both knees over to the right hand side. The left arm can come out to a T shape and your gaze can either stay up towards the ceiling or you can drop the gaze over that left arm. Try and keep the knees heavy, keep the shoulders heavy. Think about lengthening that breath again, so with every inhale, long inhales, drawing in all of the new oxygen, and with your exhales, letting it all go, keeping the exhale deep. Slowly bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Hugging the knees into the chest, hugging the hands around the shins. Time to activate those abdominal muscles. So keep hold of the left leg, extend the right leg out long, and then we're going to flex both feet, so draw the toes back towards the face. If this gets too much at any point, you can always drop that right foot down, but to make it harder, lift the right heel off the mat, just an inch. Take the hands alongside the left leg, so let go of that left leg and start to peel your head and your shoulders off the mat, so you're reaching your chest up towards that left leg. Keep breathing here. We're going to take a big inhale together. And as you exhale, swap legs. The right knee comes in, the left leg extends. Big inhale, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out. And exhale to switch, bring the right knee in, take the left leg out. Keep breathing through this, so we inhale to bring the leg in. And we exhale to swap. Don't worry about being in time with me, just keep moving in time with your own breath. If your neck is starting to hurt, just gently place your fingertips behind your neck and just give yourself a little bit of support there. So keep breathing, keep lifting the chest up. See if you can lift your chest up a little bit higher and keep pressing the lower back down into the mat. So you want to keep that contact with the back and the lower, back and the mat. Keep breathing here. We'll stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug both knees into the chest, just relaxing here for a second. Extend that right leg out long again, keep hold of the left leg. Again, your option is to either hover the right foot off the mat or just drop that right ankle down. Flex both feet, so point the toes towards you. Take the hands off that left leg and just start to lift your chest off the mat. We're going to take the left elbow, bend the left elbow and press the left elbow against the bottom of that left thigh. So you're pressing the left hand into that left leg as hard as you can. Squeeze your abdominal muscles, press the lower back down in towards the mat. Keep breathing. Right arm can either stay out to the side or you can take the right hand up to make it harder. We're going to hold it here for 5, lift the chest up. 4, keep breathing. 3, press that arm in harder. 2, lift the chest up higher. And 1, release. Knees come into the chest. Just start to rock from side to side, massaging the back into the mat. Hopefully your abdominal muscles should feel a little bit warmer. This time, we're going to keep hold of the right leg and extend that left leg out long. Keep both feet flexed. Same thing, left foot can stay on or off the mat. We're going to extend the arms out long, start to lift the chest up towards that right leg. So you can stay with the bent knee, or if you want to get into the hamstrings, you can start to straighten that right leg. So wherever option you're going with, take an inhale, lift the chest up. And as you exhale, we're going to swap legs. So the left leg comes in, the right leg goes out. We inhale to draw the right knee in, take the left leg out. and exhale to swap. Keep working with your own breath. Again, you can always place the fingertips behind the neck if this gets too much for the head. Stay here with your breath. See if you can lift your chest up higher and keep pressing the lower back down into the mat. You don't have to do this with straight legs. You can always keep the legs bent. We will stay here for 5. Stay connected with your breath. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug the knees into the chest. Just for a second, we're going to extend that left leg out long again. Keep the right knee in. Again, left foot can be on or off the mat. Bend the right elbow and squeeze that right elbow against the bottom of that right thigh. So you're lifting the chest up to press the right elbow into the right thigh. The left arm can either come out to the side or you can take it back to make this harder. So really squeeze the right elbow into the right thigh. Keep pressing the lower back into the mat. Keep lifting the chest up. We're going to hold it here for 5, 4, big breaths. 3, lift the chest up higher. 2, and 1, release. Hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. So to counter stretch all of that abdominal work that we've just done, we're going to come into a glute bridge. So for your glute bridge, place the feet flat onto the mat. Just check that you can feel the heels behind you. It doesn't matter if you can't, but you want to have the heels as close towards your bum as you can. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, press the feet into the mat. Start to lift the hips and the chest off the mat. So you're squeezing the bum, draw the legs together. Keep those abdominals turned on by pulling the belly button back towards the spine. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. We're going to hold it here for 5, 4, lift the bum up higher. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the chest down towards the mat. Knees come into the chest one last time. We're going to make our way from here into a seated position. So it's up to you if you use your hands and knees to get onto your seat, or place the hands behind the legs. We'll rock and roll forwards and backwards 3 times. So use the momentum, rocking onto your shoulders and up. And on your 3rd rock, we'll make our way to a comfortable seated position. So if it's uncomfortable being sat cross-legs on the floor, you can always sit on a sofa or a chair. If you want, you can sit on your knees. If it's uncomfortable, you can also place a pillow or a blanket or a cushion underneath your bum. So get yourselves comfortable. We're not going to be here for long. I'm going to be here for about 5 minutes. So draw the shoulders up to the ears, as high up to the ears as you can, and then send them all the way down and back. We'll do that 3 more times. Take a big inhale, shoulders come up to the ears, and exhale, send them down and back. 2 more like that. Big inhale, draw the shoulders all the way up. Exhale, send them down and back. Last time. Big inhale, shoulders come all the way up. And we'll exhale, send the shoulders all the way down and back. We're going to take 2 big circles with the head. So drop the chin down to the chest. And then start to rock the left ear over towards the left or the right. It doesn't matter which way you've gone. Take the head all the way up towards the sky. Bring it all the way down to the other side, to the right or the left. And then finally dropping the chin back down to the chest. We've got the same thing in the other direction. So if you went left, go right. If you went right, go left. The right ear or left ear comes to the shoulder. We take it all the way up to the sky. We drop the ear down to the shoulder. And then we place our chin down to our chest. Bring your head up to a neutral position. We'll just take a couple of stretches for the neck. So the first thing we're going to do is drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. You can stay here, or you can start to walk the right fingertips away. So that might mean placing the right hand on the mat. It might mean extending that right arm out long. Wherever you can feel this stretch, just hold it there. Have a play around with the positioning of your chin. So maybe drop the chin down to the shoulder, maybe lift the chin up to the sky, and just see where you can feel this stretch in that right neck, right side of the neck. If you want to intensify this, you can always place the left fingertips gently onto the head as well. If you've been working from home, spending a lot of time at a computer, these muscles can get quite tight. So if it hurts, mine does too, because I'm also sat at my keyboard all day. See if you can find that breath, so big inhales in through the nose and big exhales back out. Keep the spine nice and long. So notice if you've started to slump down into the back, see if you can sit up out of your sit bones. We'll take one big inhale in through the nose. And exhale, bring both hands down towards the knees and drop the chin down towards the chest. We'll take one big circle, so take the right ear over towards the right. Bring the gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. Take the left ear over to the left. And then finally bringing the chin back down to the chest. Bring the gaze up to center. This time we'll drop the right ear over towards the right shoulder. So the same options apply. You can either take the left fingertips out on the mat. You can take the left hand out to the side. If you want a little bit more, you can place the right fingertips gently onto the head. Maybe playing around with the neck, so maybe drop the chin down. Maybe lifting the chin up. Just noticing where you can feel the stretch. You might even be able to feel it in the very top of the back into the trapezius muscles as well. So again, notice if you've started to sink down, see if you can sit up nice and tall. Keep those abdominals engaged so you're pulling the belly button backwards towards the spine. Big inhales and big exhales. Take one more full inhale. One more big exhale. And then we'll bring the hands down to the legs. Drop the chin down to the chest. Take the left ear over towards the left shoulder. Take the gaze all the way up to the sky. Drop the right ear over towards the right shoulder. And finally bring the chin down to the chest. Now we're going to bring our head back up to the center, so you can use your hand if you want, and just use your hand to bring your head all the way back to the center. Take a big inhale, lift the hands up. As you exhale, cactus the hands. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. Think about spreading the shoulders out wide. We're going to start to get into the forearms. So what we're going to do is start to make some fists with the hands and then spread the fingertips out wide. So start slow to start with. So small fists and big extend of the hand. Really clench the fists as tight as you can. We're going to start to speed it up. So you might already be able to feel this in the forearms. Again, this is a really good one if you spent a lot of time typing. Start to make them a little bit quicker. See if you can send the shoulders down the back as well. And see if you can keep that lift in the spine so you're sitting up nice and tall. Faster still. It's going to start to burn, but we're going to power through it. Keep going. Keep breathing. See if you can make them faster still. Even if they're going numb, see if you can still keep moving somehow. See if you can go faster. Okay, keep going. This time we're going to take the hands all the way up to the sky, so straighten the hands. Keep going. We're here for 10, 9, I'm not going to count faster, 8, 7, keep breathing, 6, 5, 4, 3, so you can go faster, 2, and 1, release. Whew. Drop the hands, give the hands a bit of a shake. Maybe making some circles with the wrists, one direction and then the other direction. We're going to take a big inhale, lift the hands all the way back up again. And as you exhale, cactus the hands. Probably still hurts. Take a big inhale, pull the hands back, so squeeze the shoulder blades together. As you exhale, we're going to find a roundness in the spine, so cross the hands in front of the face. Take an inhale, take the hands all the way back. Try and keep spreading the fingertips wide, even though they still hurt from that forearm work. As you exhale, cross the hands in front, so allow the back to round. As you inhale, open up into that cactus shape. Keep spreading the hands wide. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale to cactus. We've got 2 more. Big inhale, open up the chest into cactus. Exhale, cross the hands. Last time, big inhale, open up the chest. See how wide you can spread those fingers. And exhale, crossing the hands in front of the face. Inhale, find a neutral spine. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position. So if you had any props, any pillows, any blankets, just pop them to one side. If you were on the couch or the sofa, come back onto your mat or the floor and make your way onto all fours. So the hands are underneath the shoulders and they're shoulder width apart. The knees are as wide as the hips. The toes can be tucked or untucked. Pull the belly button back towards the spine. Take a big inhale, keep that abdominal engagement as you drop the belly down, push the sit bones up and push the chest forward. As you exhale, round through the spine. So let the gaze soften. Inhale, lift up the chest, push the sit bones back. Exhale, find that roundness. So really press into the hands. Big inhale, belly comes down, sit bones move back, chest comes up. Exhale to find that roundness. We've got 2 more full rounds of breath. Don't worry about sticking with me, just move in time with your own breath. So inhales to drop the belly down and exhales to find that roundness. When you finish, just make your way into a neutral spine. We're going to make our way into puppy stretch. So for your puppy stretch, you might need to walk your feet backwards a little bit. Keep your bum up in the air, so push your bum up, and start to walk your hands forward. So you're aiming to bring your chest, your chin or your forehead down towards the mat. So this stretch is going to get into the shoulder blades. Think about pressing the hands down into the mat as hard as you can, and at the same time pull the shoulder blades away from the ears. Keep the abdominal muscles turned on, so keep pulling the belly button back towards the spine. So you can stay here and be still, or you can start to move through those cat-cows again. So if you're working with the cat-cows, we inhale to drop the belly down, push the bum up even higher. As you exhale, keep the hands on the mat, find a roundness in the spine. This is really going to get into those shoulders. We inhale to drop the belly down, push the chest forward and push the bum up. Then we exhale to find that roundness. You can always do this from the tabletop position. You can always stay in a puppy pose, or if you want, you can come back into that child's pose. So stay here with your own breath. Maybe closing your eyes. We'll stay here for 2 more rounds. Your shoulders are really probably burning. Mine definitely are. Take one last inhale. And we're going to make our way back to a tabletop position. So walk your forearms backwards and find your way back into all fours. We've got some thread the needles. So press into the right hand, take an inhale, lift the left arm up as high as you can. As you exhale, thread the left hand underneath the right, bring the left ear down towards the mat. We inhale to lift the left arm all the way up. And we exhale to thread the left hand underneath the right. 2 more. Inhale, lift that left arm. As you exhale, thread the left arm underneath the right. Last one, big inhale, lift up the left arm. And as you exhale, thread the left hand underneath the right, bring the left ear down to the mat and hold it here. So in this stretch, you can either stay on the fingertips of that right hand and push the right hand into the mat to lift up the chest, or you can take the right hand up and over, so you're bending at the right elbow, and bring the hand behind you to catch hold of either your t-shirt, your leggings. You can hook the hand around and take hold of your shin. Just go wherever this feels comfortable. If this is too much, you can always stay on the forearm of that left hand and just open up that right shoulder. So keep breathing. Try not to lose that connection with the breath. Two more big inhales and 2 more big exhales. On your next inhale, bring the right hand down towards the mat. Press into the right hand. Lift the left arm up one last time. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down onto the mat. So this time we're going to press into the left hand. Lift the right arm all the way up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, right hand threads underneath the left. The right ear comes down towards the mat. We inhale to lift the right hand up. Exhale, thread the right hand underneath the left. 2 more, big inhale, lift the right hand. Exhale, thread right hand through, bring the right ear down towards the mat. Last time, big inhale, lift up the right hand. And as you exhale, thread the right hand underneath the left, bring the right ear down towards the mat and hold it here. So you can stay here. You can come onto the fingertips of the left hand and press into the left hand to lift your chest up towards the ceiling. Or you can lift the left arm up, bend at the left elbow, turn the thumb down, and bring the arm back behind. So you're taking hold of your t-shirt, your leggings, your thigh, your hip, anything you can grab onto. There's always the option to come onto that right forearm instead. If you're feeling that your right ear doesn't quite come down towards the mat, you can always place a blanket or a pillow or the books that you might have got. You can always place your head on there. So again, think about slowing the breath down. Try not to lose that core engagement, so pull the belly button back towards the spine the whole time. Take one more final inhale. And as you exhale, release the left hand. Place the left hand flat down onto the mat. We're going to press into that left hand. Take an inhale. Lift the right arm all the way up. And as you exhale, bring both hands down towards the mat. Tuck the toes, push the hips all the way up and back into your first downward facing dog. So for this first one, you might just want to pedal the legs a little bit, find a little bit of movement, rocking the hips from side to side, maybe giving the head a shake, spread the shoulders away from the ears. Check that you're pressing down with all 10 fingers and the fleshy part of the palm. Try not to let the hands grip the mat. Take a couple more movements here, then we'll start to find stillness. So you're sending the heels down towards the mat. It doesn't matter if your heels don't meet, if your back is bending, the most important thing to think about in this stretch is having a straight spine. So if you feel like your back is bending, like this, just bend your knees and see if you can push your weight backwards into your feet. Start to walk your hands back to the back of the mat. So your hands are coming back towards your feet. Make sure that both feet are pressing down into the mat. Really bend your knees and let your head hang heavy over the legs. So we're in our ragdoll stretch. If you want, you can take hold of opposite elbow. Just start to rock from side to side. So your head's heavy, your body's heavy. Maybe closing the eyes. If you close the eyes, it'll test your balance. Start to drop both hands down to the mat. We're going to lift up halfway, so take your time to get there. And when you get halfway, the hands can come onto the shins or the thighs. We're going to straighten the spine here, so pull the belly button back towards the spine, push your bum backwards. Make sure that you've got a straight back and that your chest is parallel with the mat. We're going to take an inhale, keep that length in the spine, bring the hands out in front. As you exhale, take the hands back. Inhale, hands come out in front. Exhale, take them back. Keep working with the breath. Big inhale, hands come out in front. Exhale to take them back. 2 more. Inhale, hands come out in front. Exhale, take them back. Inhale, bring the hands out. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, take them back. One last time. As we inhale, we take the hands down towards the mat and start to walk forwards into a plank position. So find a high plank, push the heels backwards, squeeze your bum and tuck the sit bones under. We're going to drop down into a forearm plank, so try and keep the hips stable as you drop the left or the right and then the other one to meet. Hold it here in this forearm plank. So heels pushed back, squeeze your bum. If this gets too much, you can always drop the knees down. Keep breathing. We're going to hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Make sure you're not holding your breath. 3, 2, and 1. If your knees were off, drop your knees down. We're going to lower the chest and the hips down towards the mat. So untuck the toes. Take an inhale, lift the chest up, coming into your Sphinx pose. So pull the hands towards you and lift the chest up. Keep squeezing your glutes, so keep the bum really tight and press the backs of the feet down into the mat. We're lifting the chest up. So try and spread your shoulders down away from your ears. Take one full inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, pull the elbows in towards the side of the chest and bring your chest down towards the mat. We're going to take the hands out to a cactus shape. With a big inhale, lift the hands out in front. And with a big exhale, cactus the hands, so squeeze the shoulder blades together. So to make this harder, drop your forehead onto the mat. Same motion, inhale, take the hands out. Exhale, cactus the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Think about squeezing your bum and tuck the sit bones down. So try and point your bum down to the mat. So you're trying to lift your belly off the mat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. We've got 3 more like this. Big inhale to reach. Exhale, cactus. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, cactus. Last one, big inhale. And exhale, cactus the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades, hold it here, lift the shoulder blades up, lift the arms up for 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands. Shuffle the forearms back in, lift up the chest, come back into that Sphinx pose. So that will have really got into those muscles in the back. I'm going to drop the chest back down towards the mat and bring the hands back into that cactus shape. This time keep the head lifted. Lift the hands off the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together back into the cactus shape. Keep the feet pressed down into the mat. We're going to take an inhale and see if you can lift the chest up off the mat. So we're using the back muscles to lift up the chest. Keep breathing here. We'll hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Release. This time take the hands back behind you. So imagine you're trying to hold a big beach ball. Really activate the arms, the triceps are turned on. Imagine you're pressing a big ball between your hands. We're going to take an inhale, lift the chest up, keep the arms active, hold it here for 3, press the feet down. 2, lift the chest, and 1, release. Last time, in a cactus shape, we take an inhale, we lift up the chest, holding it here for 3, 2, and 1, release. Walk the hands forward and take a stretch. So it's like you're going into a child's pose, but your hands are just straight out in front. Let your head come down towards the mat. We'll take 5 big breaths here. To intensify this stretch, you can always come onto the fingertips of that hand, of both hands, and start to walk the hands forward. Slowly bring the hands back into the chest. So the hands are coming underneath the shoulder blades. We're going to move into a plank position, so the toes tuck under, the thighs lift off the mat, we squeeze the elbows in, keep the body in one full stack, press yourselves up to a high plank, and then take the sit bones all the way up into your downward facing dog. 5 big breaths here. Maybe taking an inhale in through the nose, and exhaling it out the mouth. Keep the head heavy, spread the hands wide. You can take a child's pose whenever you want. We've got 2 more breaths here. Come onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, look where you're going, and we're going to step or walk or hop the hands, the feet in between the hands at the front of the mat. When we get there, we take an inhale and we lift up the chest. So your hands can be either on your shins, your thighs, or fingertips can stay on the floor. Make sure you've got a nice long back. We're going to exhale. You can either take the hands back or you can forward fold by bringing the chest a little bit further down towards the legs. We take an inhale and we come all the way up to standing. Exhale, either forward fold, fingertips come down, or take the hands backwards. With an inhale, halfway lift, fingertips or shins or thighs. You can always come into that position we did at the beginning with the hands out in front. As we exhale, we bend the knees, place the hands alongside the feet, and step or jump back into a plank position. From here, hips and chest lower down to the mat at the same time, so you can drop the knees if you want. Keep the elbows tucked in. We untuck the toes. We take an inhale to lift up the chest, either in the Sphinx pose, or coming into an upward facing dog. Exhale, bring the chest back down towards the mat. Tuck the toes, the thighs lift, we squeeze the bum, we squeeze the elbows in, press into that plank position, and then come all the way up into your downward facing dog. It's up to you whether you take 5 breaths in downward dog or child's pose. If you're coming into child's pose, you bring your feet together, bring your bum back towards your feet. And just let your head be heavy. Maybe taking a big inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you were in your child's pose, slowly make your way back into a downward facing dog. Coming up high onto the tiptoes, bend the knees, look where you're going, think light as you step, hop or jump. The feet in between the hands at the front of the mat. We take an inhale to halfway lift. We exhale to forward fold or take the hands back, and then we inhale to come all the way back up to standing. One more just like that. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the fingertips down towards the mat or take the hands all the way back. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips, shins or thighs. Exhale, hands come down onto the mat. Maybe you're stepping or maybe you're jumping. Back to a plank position. The hips and chest lower down to the mat at the same time, either knees on or knees off the mat. Untuck the toes. Inhale to lift up the chest, Sphinx or upward facing dog. Exhale, bring the chest back down towards the mat, the toes tuck under, the thighs lift, screw the elbows in, push yourself up into that plank position, and then we'll take a downward facing dog. So it's up to you whether you do this next one from your downward dog or you can do it from a tabletop position. We're going to take an inhale, lift the right leg up as high as you can. As you exhale, crunch the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale, lift up that right leg. Exhale, crunch right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift up the right leg. As you exhale, bend the right knee, cross the body, the right knee comes to the left elbow. Inhale, lift up the right leg. Exhale, cross the body, right knee comes to left elbow. Last time, inhale, lift up the right leg. As we exhale, we bend the right knee, we squeeze the right knee in towards the nose, as close towards the nose as you can, and then slowly with control, drop that right foot alongside the right hand at the front of the mat. You might want to use your hand to sweep that right foot through. Keep the left knee down. We take a big inhale, lift the hands all the way up. As you exhale, cross the left hand around the body and cross the right arm on top, so you're giving yourself a big hug. So try and walk the fingertips as far back as you can. Squeeze your bum and point your bum down towards the mat, so you're really activating the glutes. You can either stay here or coming into the eagle wrap. If you're coming into the eagle wrap, press the backs of the hands together. If they meet, if not, just pressing the forearms together is enough. If you want more, you can bring the palms of the hands together. So squeeze the arms as tight as you can and start to lift the elbows up towards your face. You can stay here, or you can start to take a back bend. If you're coming into the back bend, try and take this motion from the top of the spine. Try not to sink into the lower back. Keep the hips tight where they are, and just start to bend from the upper part of the spine. Take one more full inhale, and exhale, release. Bring both hands towards that right foot. We're going to press the left hand down onto the mat and reach the right hand all the way up. Take the twist. As you exhale, the right forearm comes to the right thigh, or right hand on the inside of the right foot, lift the left arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, release that left hand down. We're going to take a stretch for the ankle, so if you've been doing a lot of running, this is a really good one. The first option is to press the right knee over the right ankle, so you can see that the right knee tracks really far forwards over that right ankle. You can then start to apply pressure on that right leg, so really lean into that right leg. You want to pull the right heel down towards the mat. If you can't feel anything, you should be able to feel it either at the front of the ankle or the back of the ankle or into the calf. If you can't feel it, another option is to drop the left thigh, drop the left shin down onto the mat. Keep that right knee bent, and we do the same thing, so we just transfer all of that weight over the right leg. And keep thinking about drawing the right heel down towards the mat. See if you can slow the breath down. So big inhales in through the nose, and big exhales out. If you can't feel it, just have a play around with your positioning. So you might need to take the foot further forward, you might need to bring the foot a bit further back. But once you've found it, you'll know, because you'll be able to feel that stretch, especially into the calf. From here, make your way back into that runner's lunge. So your right knee is in front and your left knee is on the ground. We're going to take an inhale, lift the hands all the way up. As you exhale, bring the fingertips just behind your head. We're going to get into the left hip flexor and the T-spine. So with your inhale, stand up, don't stand up, lengthen the spine, and with your exhales, we're going to twist over that right leg. So keep the hips where they are, just move through the spine. We inhale to come back through center, and we exhale to twist over that right leg. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhaling to twist, really keep the hips where they are. Big inhale, coming all the way through center. Last time. Exhale to twist over to the right. Inhale, bring the chest back through to center. Tuck the left toes if they weren't already. Really press into that right foot. We're going to lift the left knee off the mat. With a big inhale, the hands come all the way up. With an exhale, we give ourselves a hug, so the left arm comes underneath, the right arm is on top. If you want a little bit more, go for the eagle wrap. So for the eagle wrap, press the forearms together, or the backs of the hands, or both palms can come together. Lift the elbows up, squeeze the arms together. We are going to transfer into a warrior three, so take all of your weight forwards over that right leg. Start to lift the left toes off the mat, and then eventually you start to lift the left leg all the way off the mat. If you've got a wall, you can always use the wall for support. Think about activating the legs, so draw the thighs up, really use the quads. Flex the left foot, and see if you can square the hips, so drop the left hip down. If this is too much with the hands, you don't have to use them. Hands can come onto the hips, they can come out in front, they can come behind. If it's hurting the lower back, you can always drop the left toes down onto the mat. Find your balance, find something still. If you fall, just have another go. We're going to micro bend the right leg, and then gently with control, drop the left toes down towards the mat. Take a big inhale, lift the arms up, stay with the eagle wrap if you've got it, and exhale, release the hands. Step the left foot in a little bit closer towards your right foot. So your feet want to be as wide as your hips, and you've got half a stride between the feet. Square off the hips to face the front. You can either take your hands like you're holding that big beach ball, or if you want a little bit more, interlace the fingers and then press the hands down towards the mat. Lift up the chest, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, fold forwards over that right leg. If you've got the interlace, take the hands all the way up and over. So keep pulling back that right hip. You want to try and square the hips. You want to have a straight spine. So if you feel like you're round in the back, just come up a little bit higher and think about pushing the hips back more. You can always test whether your back is bent by feeling if you can feel the bobbly bits of the spine, probably because you're bending your back. But if you can't feel them, you've probably got a nice straight spine. Breathe into this stretch with your inhales. See if you can lengthen the chest forward. With your exhales, see if you can sink a little bit further forwards over that right leg. Feeling it into that right hamstring. We take an inhale, come all the way up. Bend into that right leg and step the left foot to meet the right foot at the front of the mat. Keep the knees bent. Inhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Sink down into the heels. Tuck the sit bones under, so try not to flare the bum back. Keep everything nice and tight. Belly button pulls back towards the spine. Keep the shoulders down away from the ears. If it feels like your shoulders are quite high, just take your hands a little bit wider. We're going to come all the way up onto the tiptoes, as high as you can. And we're going to squat down slowly with control, taking your bum down towards your heels. A couple of cracks in the knees, I imagine. Beautiful. And now we're going to have a play around with crow pose. If you've done crow with me before, you'll have some idea where you're going. If not, I'll try my best to explain. Hands are as wide as the shoulders, and we press the hands down into the mat. Micro bend the elbows and place the knees as high up on the arms as you can. So you're aiming to get the knees right into the armpits. You can come up onto the tiptoes and then try and mount the legs onto the backs of the arms. Look up, lean forwards, squeeze the feet together. Maybe you're having a go at rocking forwards and backwards. Maybe you're having a go at lifting up one foot. Maybe you're lifting up the other foot. Maybe both feet are lifting. Maybe nothing is lifting, that's absolutely fine. If you're playing around with the jump back, maybe you can jump back from your crow into a plank position. Wherever you are, we're all going to meet in this plank position. Drop your knees down onto the mat or keep them lifted. Hips and chest lower down to the mat at the same time. Take an inhale, lift up the chest. As you exhale, lower the chest back down towards the mat, tuck the toes, make your way up into that high plank position, and then take the hips back into a downward facing dog. There's the option to take a child's pose here. We'll take 5 big breaths before we do the flow on the other side. Maybe big inhales in through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. Take one more full cycle of breath. If you're in your child's pose, make your way into a downward facing dog. It's up to you whether you stay in your down dog or you can drop down into a tabletop position for this next one. We're going to take an inhale, lift the left leg up as high as you can. As you exhale, bend the left knee, shoulders stack over the wrists, and the left knee taps the left elbow. Inhale, lift up the left leg. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, lift up the left leg. As we exhale, cross the body, left knee comes towards the right elbow. Inhale, lift up the left leg. Exhale, cross the left knee, across the body to tap the right elbow. Inhale, lift up that left leg. This time as you exhale, bend the left knee, squeeze the left knee as close towards your nose as you can, and then place the left foot down alongside the left hand. You might need to use your hand to guide it through. Keep the right knee down. Take an inhale, lift up the hands. As you exhale, the right arm comes underneath, the left arm comes on top. Give yourself a hug. So try and walk the fingertips back as close towards each other as you can. Squeeze your bum and try and point your bum down towards the mat so you're tucking the sit bones under. You can stay here or come into that eagle wrap. Backs of the hands, forearms, or palms pressed together. Lift the elbows up, squeeze the arms as tight as you can. Option to come into that back bend, moving from the top of the spine. Try not to sink into that lower back, so the movement wants to come from the upper back. Lift up the elbows. One more big inhale. And we exhale to release. Bring the right hand down onto the mat, press into the right hand, and lift the left arm up. Find that twist. With an exhale, bring the left forearm or the left hand onto the inside of the left leg and reach the right arm all the way up. Exhale, bring both hands down towards the mat. It's time for that dorsiflexion stretch for the ankles. So your options are to push all of your weight over that left leg so your knee is tracking forwards over your toes. Second option is to drop the right shin down so you're sat down on your heels. Push all of the weight over that left knee and then start to draw your left ankle, your left heel down towards the mat. You should be able to feel this at the back of the calf, back of the ankle, maybe into the front of the ankle as well. See if you can slow the breath down. Maybe close the eyes, really feel into this stretch. Slowly make your way back into that runner's lunge. So your left leg is in front and your right knee is down. Bring the fingertips behind the head. It's time to get into the right hip flexor and thoracic spine. So we take an inhale, lift the chest, keep squeezing your bum. As you exhale, twist over that left leg. We inhale, come back through center. Exhale to twist. 2 more. Inhale through center. Exhale to twist. Last one. Inhale. Exhale to twist. Inhale, coming all the way through center. Tuck the right toes, press into the left foot and lift the right knee off the mat. Take a big inhale, lift the hands up. And as you exhale, give yourself a hug. Right hand comes underneath, left hand comes on the top. Walk the fingertips back as far as you can. Either stay here or come into the eagle wrap, press the forearms together, backs of the hands, or press the palms together. Lift the elbows up and really squeeze the hands together. We're going to start to bend into that left knee. Ready for your warrior 3. So maybe you just go with one hop. Maybe that right foot comes all the way up. Maybe it takes a couple of hops. Lift that right foot off the mat. You can keep a micro bend in that left knee. The hips want to be square, so think about dropping that right hip down. You can play around with the hands, so maybe keep them in the eagle, take them back, heart space, take them out in front on the hips. Maybe the right toe comes down, maybe you're holding the wall. Just listen to your body, do what feels best for you. So really activate the legs, draw the quads up. If you fall, don't worry, no one can see you. Start to micro bend that left knee. If you had the eagle wrap, see if you can keep it. We're going to drop the right toes down onto the mat. Take an inhale, lift the elbows up higher. And exhale, release. Step the right foot a little bit closer to the left and straighten both legs. Check that there's a hip width gap between the left foot and the right foot. Try not to let the feet cross over like this. Your arms can either come down by the side like you're holding that big beach ball, really activate the triceps and the muscles in the arms. Or interlace the hands, inhale, lift up the chest, push the ground, push the hands down towards the ground. And as you exhale, we fold forwards over that left leg. The hands come up and overhead. Big breath. So with your inhales, you're leaning the chest forward. And with your exhales, see if you can sink down into the stretch a little bit more. Checking what's going on with the hip. So try not to let the left hip crack forwards. Square off the hip. So pull the left hip back. The right hip moves forwards. The legs are active. Squeeze the quads. If you need to, you can micro bend that left knee. If it's too much on the hamstring, just micro bend that left leg. Slow your breath down. Try not to speed up the breath. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Bend that left knee and step the right foot to meet the left foot at the top of the mat. Lift the hands up, Utkatasana, chair pose. Pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Come up onto the tiptoes. We're going to squat all the way back down into that deep squat. So slowly with control, bring your bum, try not to fall, down towards your heels, maybe a couple of cracks with the knees. Last time to play around with crow pose. You do not have to, you can always skip it, but if you want, it's not often I give second crows. So hands are as wide as the shoulders, we come up onto the tiptoes and we try and get the knees onto the back of the arms. Feel free to message me, send me pictures, and I'll try and help you remotely to get this position. It's always fun to play around with. So maybe you're rocking forwards and backwards, maybe you're lifting one foot and the other foot, maybe you're lifting both feet. If you've got both feet lifted, bring the feet up towards your bum. Make yourself light, so try and lift the knees off the arms, and that'll help you with that jump back. Maybe having a go at jumping back to plank position. And we'll all meet in this plank position. So it's up to you whether you keep your knees on or off. We're going to lower the hips and chest down to the mat at the same time. With an inhale, we lift up the chest either on your forearms or upward dog. Exhale, lower the chest back down towards the mat. The toes tuck, the thighs lift. We squeeze the elbows in one last time, press up to a plank position. And then send the hips back to a child's pose, so drop the knees down. Bum comes back towards the feet and let the head be heavy. If you want, you can always take a downward facing dog. So really start to slow the breath down. We're slowing it all down now. So big inhales in through the nose and big exhales out. Maybe sighing it out the mouth. Start to walk your hands back towards your legs. We're going to make our way onto our back, so swing the legs around and come and find yourselves in a laying down position. The knees come into the chest, so give yourself a hug. We'll finish with a couple of back bends. We've done quite a lot of work on the upper back, so you never know, this might be the first day you get that crab pose or that full wheel. We'll start with a glute bridge, so bring the feet down towards the mat. Bring your feet as close towards your bum as you can. You want to be able to feel the backs of the heels as much as you can, you don't have to. So for the first one we're going to do is take a big inhale. Exhale, press the feet into the mat, lift the chest up. So it's what we did at the beginning of the class. If you want a little bit more, you can start to shuffle the shoulder blades together Maybe interlace the hands behind the back and press the hands down into the mat. Keep lifting up the hips and keep squeezing the legs together. So you're trying to draw the knees together. Lift the hips up a bit higher. Keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. One last time, one last big breath. And release. Shuffle the shoulder blades away and then bring your bum back down towards the mat. So we've got one more. You can either do exactly what we've just done and go into that glute bridge, or if you're having to play around with the crab pose or the full wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana or something like that, just bring the hands alongside the elbows, so point the fingers back towards the elbows. The hands are flat down onto the mat. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, press the hands and the feet into the mat, lift up the chest. If you're playing around with your glute bridge, then it's exactly the same thing that we've just done. If you're in your full wheel or your crab, take 5 breaths and then make your way down. Whenever you're coming down, bring the chin into the chest and finish on your shoulders. So you want to land on your shoulders. If you're in your glute bridge, see if you can push your bum up a bit higher. We'll take one more big breath in that glute bridge. And release. Shuffle the shoulder blades away. If you're in your crab or your wheel, make your way down onto your backs. Take a couple of windscreen wipes with the legs like we did at the beginning, so drop the knees down to the left, take them all the way over to the right. Keep rocking the legs forward and backwards. And find any release that you need in that lower back. So that might mean bringing the knees into the chest. Maybe coming into a happy baby. Just moving in any way that you want. We will all hook the knees into the chest. We're going to take a supine twist, so it's up to you. You could do what we did at the beginning, where we dropped both knees down, where we crossed the right leg over the left, or you can keep the right knee into the chest and let that left leg go out long. We're going to drop either both knees or the right knee over to the left side. So drop that right knee down to the left. Take the right arm out to a T and just take your gaze over that right arm. Let your breath slow back down again. Close the eyes, soften the shoulders, soften the hips. Make your way back into center. We'll take the legs over to the right this time. So you can do both knees, you can take the eagle wrap across the left leg over the right, or keep hold of the left leg, take the right leg out long, and then we'll draw the left knee all the way over to the right hand side. Maybe taking that left arm out to a T. Your gaze can stay up to the ceiling, or you can drop the gaze over the left arm, maybe close the eyes. Let go of the shoulders. Let the hips be heavy. Really slowing the breath down. We've got one round of breath like this. And then slowly bring your knees back to the center. Make your way into Shavasana. If you want to take an inversion before Shavasana, so if you want to go upside down, you can do. You can either take the legs up, you can take the legs against a wall if you've got a wall in your house. You can come into a shoulder stand if you want. So if you want to come into a shoulder stand, place the hands behind your hips and then just rock up onto your shoulders and use your hands to support your back as you lift up your legs. Other options is to take a headstand if you're playing around with headstands. We've done quite a few in classes, so maybe you just want to practice. I'm just going to stay like this for now, but it's up to you. Do whatever you want to do. You can make your way into Shavasana if you want. If you're coming into Shavasana, take as many blankets as you want. Take pillows, lavender oil. Surround yourself with all the things you love in your house that we don't usually have in the yoga studio / community hall. So take the legs out long, the knees can be bent. Just find that Shavasana in your own time. The hands can be out by the side, they can be on your belly. You can have one on the chest, one on the belly. if you were taking an inversion, just start to make your way into Shavasana. We'll spend about 3 to 4 minutes here. You can always stay for longer. We'll take a big inhale in through the nose. Exhale, sigh out. Big inhale in through the nose. Exhale to sigh out. And just let your body be completely heavy. Soften the face and soften the jaw. The shoulders are heavy. And let the hands and the feet be heavy. Just take this next couple of minutes to be completely still. The whole body melts into the mat. Now would be a good time to check in with your mind, see if it's starting to wander. It's easy to get distracted at home. So see if you can bring it back to the mat for this next minute, staying present on the mat. You can stay here for as long as you want. You can start to make your way up to a seated position if you are. Take a long pencil stretch, start to wake the body up. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Rocking on either the left side or the right side into your fetal position. Just taking a moment here. And slowly, in your own time, make your way up to a comfortable seated position, either on your knees or crossing your legs, keeping the eyes soft or closed. Bring the shoulders up to the ears. We'll send them all the way down and back. Bring the hands to the heart center. Drop your chin down to your chest. Thank yourself for taking an hour out of your Wednesday evening to come and practice with me wherever you are in the country, in the world tonight. Hope you have a fabulous rest of Wednesday and enjoy your week. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. And let me know if you've got any feedback. Thanks, guys. I'm not sure how to pause it.